Now that we've spent 19 years getting to know the citizens of Bikini Bottom, we know that there's a little SpongeBob, Patrick, or Squidward in all of us. Hi, I'm Arielle with Channel Frederator, and today we're asking, which SpongeBob character are you? Don't forget to subscribe and click the bell icon to become part of the notification squad. Are you unwaveringly optimistic and powered by an endless reserve of enthusiasm? Do you have the uncanny ability to always see the good in people, even if no one else does? Do you have an imagination that you often let loose for better or for worse? Are you a little naive? Then you're ready, because you're like SpongeBob! As SpongeBob, you're well liked by your community, but you're probably not the person anyone would go to, say, if the town needed an emergency mayor. Maturity and forethought are not your strong suits, and in tandem with your foolhardy streak, it means you can either rally the town behind you or instigate disaster. Everyone seems to forgive you though, so that's good. Though you sometimes struggle with the consequences, having a secure connection with your inner child gives you an infectious positivity and energy. Just watch out for those who might take advantage of how wholly and instantly you trust people. However, this openness means you work well with others, even if you don't always have the best read on their emotions and intentions. But you're persistent, devoted to your work, and will always fight for what's right. Now, sing it with me! Oh, I'm a goofy goober, yeah. Okay, I'll stop. Are you blissfully unaware that you're not the brightest star in the sea? Do you like eating? Are you lazy? Are you a loyal friend? Have you been known to have sudden spurts of insecurity, jealousy, or anger? Then grab a couple of Krabby Patties because you're like Patrick. You're a devoted friend who's always ready to lend a helping hand. You're self-assured and well-intentioned, although your lack of common sense and poor memory sometimes keeps you from acting as the situation demands. You also have a dark side, because your stubbornness and lazy nature can turn into tunnel vision. The outcome ranges from fits of jealous rage to selfishly ignoring the needs of others. But in general, if you're well-fed and well-rested, you're happy as a clam. And sometimes, you're smarter than people give you credit for. You can even keep a secret if you want to. The inner machinations of your mind are an enigma, even to you. Are you depressed and easily annoyed? Do you feel like everyone is more or less insane? Do you have an incredible talent that's unappreciated by your peers? Then you're like Squidward. Squidward fancies himself as an expert straight man with a sophisticated appreciation for the arts. You feel your love for interpretive dance and your logical disbelief in childish notions like the magic conch shell place you a cut above those around you. In fact, you would rather be left alone. You're also likely frustrated at how your life is progressing. You're reluctantly stuck in a job that you hate and can't muster the energy to pretend you care. You can't get the career you want to have off the ground. The result is that you're understandably bitter and grumpy. But secretly, you need some of the disturbances you claim to hate because you deny yourself carefree childish play. But letting these emotions bottle up can be detrimental to your sanity. If you let loose once in a while, you might cheer up a bit. So have you finished those errands? Are you adventurous to the extreme? Are you tough enough to command the respect of your peers? Do you stand out from your surroundings but take pride in your differences and have no trouble making a place for yourself? Do you have a cool accent? Then boy howdy, you're like Sandy Cheeks. A highly adventurous spirit characterizes any Sandy. You're always willing to try new things and are not easily intimidated by anything or anyone. Your ingenuity allows you to execute your adventures logically and to an astounding depth, literally to the bottom of the ocean. You're also quite possibly the smartest person you know, but you're humble enough not to brag. In fact, you're the kind person who is able to be friends with just about anyone, as long as they're sincere. You're proud of your identity and the differences that make you unique. You also have a strong competitive streak, and while it's usually just fun and games, you've definitely been known to take it too far, especially when your pride's on the line. You're living proof that brains and brawn don't have to exist on opposite sides of the spectrum. Now, yee-haw! Do you like money? Do you really like money? Do you have an unlikely progeny? Are you slow to trust others? Do you put a lot of emotional value in inanimate objects, like your cash register or your first dime? Do you like money? Then you're like Mr. Krabs. If you're Mr. Krabs, every penny counts, and I cannot possibly overstate how literally I meant that. The phrase penny pinching seems cute when it comes to describing how passionate you are about your money. Keeping it, making more of it, not losing any of it. You will cry over a penny. You will go to absurd lengths to rectify money matters, including defiling graves. and it is fair to say that you care about money more than you care for people. But once you get past the money thing, which is difficult, you're a doting, loving father. You're also the kind of boss that cares about your employees as actual human beings, even if you do underpay them significantly, and make them work unreasonable hours from time to time. Anyway, you have enough experience to make sensible decisions, and your business thrives because of it. But you quickly get salty if you see those around you, especially the ones you're in charge of, slacking off. After all, time is money, and if you're wasting time, then you're wasting money, and that's just sickening. Do you have an inferiority complex that you channel into hatred for other people? Are you evil, or possibly just misunderstood? Do you stop at nothing to achieve your goals? Do you like gadgets? Is your romantic partner a computer? You're like Sheldon Plankton, so you better work on your evil laugh. The good news is that you have a fighting spirit whose flame is rarely snuffed out. You obsessively work towards your goal, even if you're knocked down again and again. And again, and again, and again. You think big. Even when you're faced with incredible odds, you take them on. This is all the more impressive because you fly solo, even if you're up against people who are literally 100 times your size. You have moments of feeling down, but you always recuperate. The bad news is that you're probably using this energy for evil doing, and your doggedly independent nature means that you don't have many friends. This doesn't mean that you can't have relationships. Indeed, you likely have one that you occasionally recognize as important to you. Your dark heart is not unsalvageable, which you know, deep down, though you resist, you can learn to be on a TM. Is there much more to you than is obvious at first glance? Are you the responsible and intelligent one in your household? Do you communicate effectively with a limited vocabulary? Meow. Then you're Gary the Snail. As a Gary, there's much more to you than meets the eye. You might seem subdued and straightforward at first, but once someone gets to know you, they learn that first impressions are deceiving. You're a treasure trove of extraordinary talents and abilities. You can even tie shoes. You're responsible and reliable enough to be the one in your household who pays the electric bill. You're proud, but you only reveal how brilliant you are when it's helpful or necessary. You also have an appreciation for the arts and an obvious, though understated, talent. It also goes without saying that you're a loyal friend, but you prefer to have a handful of significant relationships instead of being buddies with everyone, and you stick up for those close to you. That doesn't mean you can't be distracted for days by something as comparatively trivial as a cookie, but hey, who doesn't love cookies? Especially ones that have been warming up in Patrick's pocket for days. Are there times where you feel that you're only barely keeping your sanity together? Do you have someone in your life who consistently challenges this already precarious stability? Mrs. Puff indeed has the best intentions. You're entrepreneurial and independent enough to run a boating school all by yourself. You command the attention of those around you. And you have a determined spirit, even if you end up only reluctantly tolerating the things you're determined to do. But you tend to have that one thing that drives you insane. You might have noticed it's gotten worse over time too. Exasperation has turned into intense anger, even at just seeing it. You might be more prone to conveniently foisting the problem off on someone or something instead of solving it, which usually just turns you into the scapegoat instead. If you're not careful, this agitation will only get worse. Remember, trying to murder someone in a demolition derby is not cool, so it's probably best to take a vacation once in a while. Are you spoiled? Do you get upset when you don't get your way? Can you be a little rude sometimes? Do you enjoy shopping and things that are cuddly and pink? Then you're like Pearl Krabs. Pearls enjoy hanging out with their friends and doing things that can be described as cool. You know what's trendy and what's not. Pearls are easily embarrassed and are known to act selfishly. You have a knack for manipulating a situation to get your way, usually with tears. You feel your emotions very intensely, which gives you a flair for drama, a big flair for drama. As a Pearl, you might, stick out a bit in a crowd. One would think this contributes to your awareness of your self-image, but your unique characteristics actually have nothing to do with your desire to fit in. You're very comfortable in your body, and you often forget about your differences altogether, sometimes to the physical detriment of those around you. You're very passionate about the things you care about, and you turn that passion into a drive that gets results. So don't worry, underneath your more self-centered moments, you show a lot of promise. You'll grow out of it, probably. Are you the pragmatic one? Do you have a limited social circle but feel that your partner would otherwise not be able to function if you weren't around? Are you very deadpan? Are you a computer? Then you're like Karen Plankton. Karen is Plankton's computer wife. Plankton built Karen. Despite this, Karens think very independently. You have a very scientific mind that's seldom clouded by distracting emotions. Karens tend to be the brains of their operations, and one whose suggestions are reasonable and well thought out. Your hyperintelligence enables you to take on a lot of responsibility, like activating some mind control helmets. You're confident and will always tell it like it is, which often means calling people out. You're behind the scenes, but utterly indispensable. Too bad you tend towards evil doing. The downside to your cool, calculating nature is that you're less likely to be driven off the path of world domination by something as trivial as friendship. Not with the kind of blind devotion that you would ever sell yourself short. You'll totally kick them out if they deserve it. But as long as there was reason to, you'd get into a fist fight and even sacrifice yourself for your partner.
So, are you a Squidward or a Plankton? Comment below and let us know. Again, don't forget to subscribe and click the bell icon to become part of the notification squad. I gotta keep telling you this stuff, it's important. If you want to see more videos like this one, consider supporting our Patreon, where we post new peeks at new pilots, behind the scenes footage, extended creator interviews, and more. And remember, Frederator loves you.